All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about a massive shift that could completely change how we all access and pay for software. We're looking at a model that wants to end that endless cycle of monthly fees, all to make powerful tools accessible to literally anyone, anywhere.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just overpaying for software? I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, a creator, or a developer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That stack of monthly subscriptions for your CRM, for project management, for analytics, it just adds up and it becomes this constant drain in your resources.
Well, it turns out there's a name for this constant financial bleed. The source material calls it the SaaS tax, and it's way more than just another line item on your budget. It's a real barrier that can stop growth dead in its tracks.
And here's the key idea. It's not just a cost, it's being framed as a tax on innovation itself. It's this never-ending cycle where the essential tools you need to build something great are locked behind a recurring paywall. And that can stop amazing ideas before they even get a chance to start.
But what if we could just rethink that entire model? The alternative we're exploring today, using the TRIVE Suite as our example, is built on a completely new and pretty radical approach to getting your hands on software.
The core philosophy here is incredibly bold. High-end software should be a fundamental human right. Whoa. That single idea reframes software completely. It's not a luxury that you rent month after month, but an essential tool. It's a philosophy that feels more like a movement than just another product line.
So how in the world do they pull this off? Well, the model is called Watch to Unlock. It's super simple. First, you pick the professional-grade tool you need. Second, you engage with some short ad-supported content. And third, boom, you unlock full access. And here's the real game changer. No credit card required. That's the part that just shatters the barrier to entry.
Now, this model supports an entire ecosystem of tools. The TRIVE Suite is basically built around two main pillars, and they're designed for pretty much everyone, from individual creators all the way up to large corporations.
So here are the two sides of the coin. On one side, you have Vertex. Think of it as the B2B powerhouse for all your business operations. On the other side, there's Origin, which is tailor-made for creators and developers who are focused on performance, analytics, and having control over their own digital world.
Let's dig into Vertex for a second. This is the business operations side of the suite. It combines your CRM, which is your customer management, with your ERP, your resource planning. But you know what might be the most disruptive feature? The project collaboration tools are designed without the usual per-seat pricing. Think about that. It means your team isn't financially punished for growing. That is huge.
Then you've got Origin, which is built for individuals. This gives you tools for creating those slick professional landing pages for your social media, and you get access to really high-end, enterprise-grade analytics. Oh, and there's a major bonus: 100 gigabytes of free, decentralized cloud storage for users who get verified. Pretty sweet deal.
Okay, a model that promises free access and data ownership needs a pretty special technological backbone to make it work. In this case, it's what the source calls the Web4 security edge, and it's the foundation that the entire ecosystem is built on.
So the core of this technology is something called UIID. Now, think about it like this. With traditional logins, your identity is stored on some company's server. UIID basically decouples it. It sets it free, so your digital identity isn't tied to any single provider. That makes you the sole owner of your digital footprint.
So what does that actually mean for you day to day? Well, you get the convenience of a single sign-on across all the different tools, but you get it without the typical privacy trade-offs. It's designed to be a totally seamless experience, but without creating a central honeypot of data for hackers to attack.
And the network that powers all this is, well, it's absolutely massive. The TRIVE Suite is built on what's called the Linkspreed Web4 stack, which is distributed across more than 17,000 nodes all over the globe. So yeah, this is not some small-scale experiment. This is decentralization operating at a very significant scale.
This Web4 foundation gives you three huge advantages. First, because it's decentralized, the network is incredibly resilient. It's tough against outages and even censorship. Second, you can train AI on your own data, and that data always remains yours. And third, you get true digital sovereignty. Your work, your assets, your data, they don't live in a corporate silo. They live on a decentralized backbone that you control.
So when you combine that free access model with this kind of powerful, decentralized technology, the result is so much more than just saving money on software. It starts to become about reclaiming your digital freedom and creating entirely new opportunities.
And here's a fascinating example of that.
It's a program called TRIVE. It's essentially a white label opportunity. It lets users take the entire TRIVE infrastructure, rebrand it with their own logo, and then sell it to their own clients. It completely turns the tables, transforming a software user into a potential software provider.
And really, that brings us to the main takeaway from all of this. The whole idea of being trapped in endless subscriptions is being seriously challenged. What we're looking at here is a new path, a path that leads toward real, actual digital independence.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. As these powerful, decentralized, and truly accessible alternatives start to show up, are we witnessing the beginning of the end for the traditional software subscription model? It's definitely something to chew on.